inevitably you will be distracted, because that's the nature of the dream process. So instead, move from concentration to awareness, and that's my view on meditation. And there are a couple of processes that I would like to share. I'm not going to demonstrate how meditation is, because, well, it's something that is just sitting. Meditation is me in my case, and meditation would be you in yours. I cannot teach you to be you. It's just sitting down and observing how you are feeling things, how you are hearing things. Not thinking about it, but just being aware of it. Not concentrating. You can go into a fantasy, something in an inward movement. That's all fine, but being conscious of the process. So the first thing was, I was also always closing my eyes, and after a while I just opened my eyes. I thought, well, why am I closing my eyes? Why should I do that? Because visual input would also be something that I could be aware of. So I opened my eyes, and, well, almost in a spiritual sense, because in that way meditation didn't become something that was very an isolated activity, but it became something far more than that. It became an attitude or a lifestyle, even not something that is only meant for sitting on the ground, but even as I could walk around right now, I would be still meditating. Like, it's kind of being conscious of sensory input. Well, and it doesn't matter if you walk or even do sports, you still have sensory input, right? You can see things, you can hear, you can feel things. And meditation is therefore not something that is very isolated, but could be a kind of a lifestyle in a sense. And for a lucid dreamer, that's the key, the core of bringing your lucidity level up to the next level, is recognizing that lucidity and more importantly consciousness is not something that is an effort and is something incidental, but is something that is continuous, is natural, is flowing, is being aware, not concentrating, focusing on one thing, but noticing things. And I think when you start approaching lucid dreaming from that view, is a kind of a curiosity of how you fall asleep and how you are present in the lucid dream, and how you are noticing dream characters entering your dream and moving away from the dream, how you are flying in that sense. Well, it's not really dissociated, because you still feel very intimately involved in the whole process, but it's more a deeper seeing or knowing that things just happen. And in the past 4 years, I guess, the latter half of my lucid dream experience, when I approached my lucid dream training from that view, my lucidity levels, well, went through the roof. I had 4 lucid dreams a night. It was occasional. It was something that became very normal, because I was lucid also by daytime, I guess. Something that is just being consciousness of the sensory inputs and the things and experiences that you gain in everyday life. It was not something isolated, that lucidity was only applicable at night when I was asleep. No, it's something that I can also do or be. That's more truthful, to be lucid at daytime. So that whole concentration theme of focusing on one single thing, isolated only when I'm sitting on the ground, and my eyelids must be closed, and all that stuff went out of the window and replaced itself with a continuous meditative state, so to speak. And it's not very, I don't mean it in a spiritual, religious, godlike way. It's just a very simple means of noticing what you're experiencing. And well, that really boosted up my lucid dream levels in a very, very fundamental and deep way. And that's not something that you can do overnight. Say, well, now from now on I will be meditative. The very first thing you need to do is sitting on the ground and just make it for now an isolated activity. Just to become aware familiar with what I'm talking about here, and what you are feeling then when you're sitting on the ground, and feel that what is happening. And one of the things you can notice that you're doing the right thing in meditating is feeling happy. that's a very, very good indicator of that you're on the right path. Feeling free in that sense. And in many meditative practices, you see people very serious and almost irritated and frustrated that they are unable to succeed in meditating, and that there's something like success in meditating. It's very strange. Instead of approaching it like it's kind of noticing yourself or just how things occur right now, being present in this moment. So a very good indicator is when you're on the right track when meditating is well, for the first part, if you're just sitting on the ground, it's feeling happy or enjoying the process. And it's not really that you're busy meditating and that's what you're enjoying. It's really enjoying yourself. Because once meditating becomes a process on itself, well, you're stuck in the same. Then meditating becomes a technique again, and you put confidence in meditating, and well, that's the vicious cycle that I talked about earlier, when I put confidence in all the techniques instead of confidence in myself. So meditating doesn't need to become another technique again. So in that sense, it's just sitting down and taking the time just to notice yourself. Notice how you feel, what you want, what thoughts come in and what feelings occur. And you can do that for 5 minutes, you can do it for 1 minute, you can do it for half an hour, it doesn't matter. There's no, well, description telling you how to meditate. And well, just start and sit there. And you can do this a couple of times a day if you like. In some way you can see that it's very helpful to do this, well, 3 times a day, I guess. To really witness the strength of it, and in 1 week you will see what for difference it makes when you go to sleep again, and even when you practice while, when you need to rely on your skill in doing this. Well, in that sense you can see the benefits of it really quickly. So again, meditating is a really good way to improve your lucid dream skills. In that sense, because you become aware of your sensory input, and it's a very natural way of becoming lucid or aware. And it's something that you can really practice by daytime. So again, I felt it was very important for me to discover exercises that were applicable in daytime, because, well, if I can only practice in my dreams or at night, well, I must first have a lucid dream, right, to practice in lucid dreaming. Otherwise it would be just a kind of a trial and error exercise, and it wouldn't be very effective, very helpful. So really, if you're able to practice by daytime, that's really helpful, because then you can spend a lot more time on lucid dreaming. You're actually lucid dreaming while you're awake. So that really boosted up my success in lucid dreaming. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on to the next topic, because it's going to be pretty interesting.